Hi there, Evan here with Crypto and Markets for Thursday, June 21st, 2018. They came to a consensus at the OPEC Plus meeting in Vienna roughly about 30 minutes ago. They agreed to a 1 million barrel a day production increase. If you follow me on Twitter, you know the amount they'll actually add on to the market won't be quite that high. Not everyone can increase production. So I just wanted to do this video to update everyone on YouTube in case you don't follow me on Twitter. By the way, follow me as always at Crypto Markets 2. Crudehead put out a tweet right after the announcement and gave a good indication as to how many actual barrels are going to be added back onto the market. I will link it down below. I'll read it in this video now and give my thoughts. Saudi Arabia obviously will be responsible for the biggest increase, 300,000 barrels a day. Iraq, 75,000. Kuwait, 50,000. UAE, 50,000. Russia, 150,000. Oman, 15,000. Kazakhstan, 50,000. Now, Kazakhstan, he doesn't mention in the tweet. I thought I'd go ahead and mention it here. They agreed to cut production. They've been ramping it up all along. Probably going to be good for another 50,000 barrels a day, from what a lot of analysts I've read on Twitter are saying. So yeah, Kazakhstan's not in the tweet. I'll mention it here. He says it's 640 crude head. I say it's 190. And that's where we both stand here. But two things to mention. One, I know Trump's tweet a couple of weeks ago where he complained about OPEC really was a factor in all this. It can't be ignored. I've mentioned this in a previous video. I'll say it again. It wasn't just Trump. China behind the scenes. India was complaining about high gas prices. Brazil had a trucker strike because they were complaining about the high diesel prices. So those were contributing factors as well on top of the US. And here's another angle. The US, of course, pulled out of the Iran deal roughly about a month ago. Now, of course, with the sanctions, barrels of oil are going to come off the market because, of course, you can't deal with Iran, etc., etc. Already about 300,000 barrels a day came off the market from Iran, in fact, the first 2 weeks of June. 200,000 from Europe and 100,000 from Korea. Going forward, the 190,000 that were exported to Japan, that's going to come off the market as well. Worst case scenario, probably another 200,000 come off of Europe. So between 5 and 700,000 barrels a day comes off from Iran. 640 to 690,000 barrels a day. Think of what really happened here. Trump passed the ball to OPEC. OPEC took the chance. And those that can increase production saw they can take share from Iran and put the ball in the back of the net. Just look at the numbers, guys. Nothing else to it. Now again, as far as where I stand in oil from this going forward, I think the increase in the US dollar, consequently causing emerging market demand. Remember the video I did on this a couple of weeks ago? It's coming out to be true. That'll have more of an impact than the OPEC increase. Yes, what's going to happen here is, if you've noticed, the spread between WTI, West Texas crude, and Brent crude was at roughly around $11 about a week ago. That's come into about $8 now. I explained this on Twitter. I'll say it again. A production increase means more exports. Which means, since OPEC is now exporting more, to counteract some of the export increase in the US, that spread has to come in. And ultimately, I think it's going to come in a few dollars more. So to go ahead and put it in closing, Trump got the bailout he needed from the Iran deal. But that being said, the declining global economy, the increasing US dollar, will have more of an impact on crude going forward. Hit the like button, leave a comment down below, subscribe, and follow me on Twitter at CryptoMarkets2. Y'all have a good night.